What is up, everybody, and welcome back to our next Transformers Studio Series video. Now in this video I will be reviewing our Decepticon Blitzwing. Before we do our review and before we check our box, I just wanted to tell you guys that I'm gonna be doing some changes to the Transformer videos. I'm gonna transform them from vehicle to robot form and then robot to vehicle form, so that everybody can see the how to transform them into their vehicle form, starting with Blitzwing. Alright, so now let's take a look at Blitzwing, and then after that we'll take a look at his box. And then also one other thing I am doing is that I'm going to do more comparing in my videos, so that it could be better, so that the videos could be better. Now, so here's Blitzwing in his jet form. Now, it's said that this jet form is a Cybertronian jet, but actually, in reality, it's actually an Air Force jet. In the film Transformers Bumblebee, we see that Blitzwing it has a bunch of the Air Force logos on the wings, and even right here on his body. So he's technically actually an Air Force jet, not a Cybertronian jet, but still pretty cool. All right. So now let's compare him to a familiar Studio Series that many collectors have gotten. Is Studio Series number 21, Starscream. Number 21, Starscream has a lot of similarities. Well, any Starscream figure has a lot of similarities to Blitzwing, from their jet form to the bottom and everything. And this orange part, the glass part of their body, is actually they're actually pretty alike to each other. All right, so now let's take a look at his box. So right here we can see that Blitzwing is in his CGI form, which we can see Blitzwing's weapon accessory, where he picks up Bumblebee like pew pew, and he takes out his voice box. Right here we can see his weapon accessory, which is stubbier than the actual figure. Right here we can see Blitzwing's face, large Studio Series letters, his number 65. It's inspired by the movie Transformers Bumblebee. His name is Blitzwing, not Starscream. His iconic movie scene is Canyon Attack. And when Blitzwing silences Bumblebee, he transforms in 27 steps from robot to jet form. Now, one little thing I did notice is that here on the backdrop, which they always come with a backdrop, look at this logo right here. Does that logo look familiar? That's a Devastator Constructicon logo, which is kind of weird for it to be on a Decepticon, like a regular Decepticon box, but and then in reality it came with the Autobot logo that all the Studio Series come with. And lastly, we can see that the black nice background that Blitzwing is standing in. We can see him in his full CGI form, from his legs to his chest and his weapon accessory. I really do like that there is steam, and if you can look closely, there are some sparks flying in there. Alright, now let's transform Blitzwing. Alright, so this little wheel right here is actually to help Blitzwing not wobble that much. You see, it doesn't even wobble. But if you take off that wheel, which is part of the steps to put it back into the robot form, look, you see, it's kind of more wobbly. Wow, as it wasn't that much, you see? Okay, so now let's transform Blitzwing. First you gotta do is take off his weapon accessories. Well, and these accessories, which aren't weapon accessories, but they're pretty cool. I forgot what these are, but they go on jets and stuff. But I think they might be fuel tanks or missiles. I'm not so sure. There is an upgrade kit for Blitzwing that comes with missiles, but I haven't looked into it. I just heard about it. Now this is the weapon accessory I was showing you on the box, that when he silences Bumblebee. And lastly, his cannon weapon accessory, which is pretty cool. It looks a little bit like it does in the movie, except the movie, just imagine it shorter and stubbier. Alright. Okay, so now let's transform Blitzwing. So first you gotta do is take out this part, which is his head. Wait, hold on. You gotta take this part out. and then flip it like that. Alright, put his head back inside because we're gonna pull this up. Alright, so his wings, which go on his back, you actually take from right here. You actually take right here, and then this little part right here, you fold it in like that, so that it won't be in the way for Blitzwing's body. Then you tuck this piece down, and then right here there's this joint that you do like this. That goes right here. Now you notice that it's kind of like wobbly and flimsy now, but once you put this piece, it's not gonna be like that anymore. Now you're wondering, where's his head? Now you just open this up, push his head like that, make sure it goes all the way in. Make sure it goes all the way in. Make sure his head looks like that, like if he just got punched from the bottom, like that. So that it could be easier to push inside the little thing. Oh, and one other thing is that many parts are detachable. For example, this little part came off. It's just easy to put back on. You see? Super simple. But just remember, if you snap a part off, try not to use super glue because it's gonna ruin it and everything. Okay. So now let's get these little flaps down here, fold it back. You do the same to this hand, fold it back. Okay, now you see that his hands are like this. Make sure that they're in alignment. The little hole in the hand are in alignment to that little slot. You have to flip them like that. Now, how it's still flimsy is that these little tabs right here connect to these slots right there. You connect them, and there. Now you put these little wing pieces up. You put them up, both wing pieces. Alright, so now you separate his legs, and then you push this like that. Do the same. Boop. Okay? Then you pull his little foot down like that, and then you flip the leg apart, and then you take out his toes like this. Pretty simple. You do the same thing to this side. Then you fold, put his foot, take out toes, like that. And there, you have Studio Series number 65 Blitzwing. Alright, now we're going to do some comparing of Blitzwing and from his robot form to similar Transformers in their robot forms. Okay, so now let's compare Blitzwing to other similar Transformers such as Starscream, but in their robot form. So let's put Blitzwing to the side, and then let's have Starscream in the room for a little bit. Don't worry, Blitzwing, you'll get more attention than him. Alright, so Starscream and Blitzwing have a lot in common toward their robot form and their their vehicle form. Now we saw how they looked a lot alike in their vehicle form, and now their robot form is pretty similar. The plane, like the part where people go in a jet, it's on their chest the same way, and then all the gears that all go on the sides right there, and it's pretty similar to Starscream. Alright, Starscream, get out of here. Yo. And now Blitzwing. Now, I did forget something to put on his weapon accessories. Now, I'll just do that right now. You just remember, for Blitzwing, the longer part of this little thingy has to go facing down. And you do the same to this thing. Okay. So now, to place his little accessory where he pokes Bumblebee with, you gotta take out his hand like that, and then push this one inside that little hole right there where his hand used to be, like that. You see? Pretty simple. And what to do with this hand? You just keep it in a safe spot. You can reattach it, or you can have it in the back right here. I tried putting it right there in that little hole, but that little hole is actually for this guy, for this little thing. So, look, you see this little guy? This little tab right here, this little tiny round tab. You put it in this tiny little round hole, and there. You see? But I want Blitzwing to look more cool. So now let's just put it in. Let's put his little jabber accessory in his arm. Okay. So now, last but not least, his other weapon accessory. And you saw how this thing fell? You just gotta reconnect it like that. Just make sure it's tight. It's because when you pull this up, this thing also goes down because it's connected. All right. So now let's put this thing in. This little tab, this little tab right here goes in the slot, and this little circle thing goes in his hand. So you can place it like this. Pretty simple. All right. So now before we put him back in vehicle form, I still want to compare him to other similar Transformers, some Voyager classes and some Deluxe classes. As we saw that Starscream is similar to Blitzwing. As we saw that he's similar to Blitzwing, there's many other Voyager classes that are around his size. For example, Studio Series number 60, Scrapper. It's pretty similar. I'll put them a little more toward the back so that we can see them all good. And then also Studio Series Voyager class Sentinel Prime. I bet you've seen my video about him on my channel. Please just watch him more because I want more views for my videos and stuff. So I'll put Sentinel Prime right here on this side. As we can see, they're all at least 6.5 inches, if not 7 inches. They're all around that size. Now let's compare Blitzwing to some Deluxe classes. Okie dokie. So, one Deluxe class is Studio Series number 29. I have not done a video about him just yet. Studio Series number 29, Sideswipe. Now Sideswipe is a pretty good figure. He was my first figure of the Studio Series timeline I ever got. And you could also compare him to Studio Series number 49, Deluxe class, Bumblebee. Now let's just put him more back right here so that you can see the difference between the sizes of the Deluxe classes and the Voyager class. So now we can see all the different sizes of the Deluxe and the Voyager class. How they're different sizes from Blitzwing. Blitzwing is a normal Voyager class, which is pretty cool. Now let's compare him to something a bit bigger, some leader classes. Now you can compare him to leader class Overload, Constructicon Overload, which is actually a bit bigger than him, and one of the biggest leader classes that ever got released, Studio Series number 55, leader class Scavenger. Now, one little problem I have with Scavenger is that the wheel and everything at the bottom. But you just have to have him have his weight strengthened on a surface or something so that he won't fall off. Okay, so now we saw the different sizes from Blitzwing to Overload, Scavenger, Sentinel, Scrapper, Starscream, Sideswipe, Bumblebee, Roadbuster, and yeah, I believe that's it. Alright, so now let's put this back. You can recreate the moment where Blitzwing fights on Bumblebee in the Bumblebee film, where he grabs him by the neck and where he takes off his voice box. And one cool thing is that Bumblebee, if you see my video about him, his neck goes like that, so that it can make perfect sense and Blitzwing's hand is also like this, like can move. So you can make it look like he's choking Bumblebee. Let me just move the camera more back. I mean the figures more back and the camera more down, so that you can see it looks like he's choking him. Let's just rotate it a bit, and then we can see that Blitzwing looks like he's choking Bumblebee. Alright, so now let's hey, quit it, you're killing him. Alright. Okay, some thoughts about Blitzwing that I want to share. is that he's one of the best figures I ever got. And one little thing to many people who thought he's Starscream is that he's not Starscream. His name is actually Blitzwing. If his name is just Blitzwing, he's Blitzwing. I know many people thought it was Starscream. It's because that he looks a lot like Starscream due to the red and the blue and the white colors that he has. If you have Studio Series number 57, many collectors have it, but like I don't get how they get it so fast. But he looks a lot like Studio Series number 65 Blitzwing. Okay, so now let's transform him back to robot form. So you just take off his accessories like we did the other time. Now his hand accessory, this little hand, just keep it right there. Alright? Okay, you take off all of his weapon accessories, which we've taken off his little cannon and his whatchamacallit, this thingamajig. And then we take off these little things that I always forget what they're called, but just know they're just called something. Okay. So now let's transform Blitzwing into robot form. Okay. So the first thing you gotta do is flip his legs over like this. Okay, just follow these steps with me if you have the figure. So follow these steps. So you place like this, and then just have it ready. And then his little toes, push in like that. Do the same to this side. Take out like this, there, and then as they're both facing out, you connect them together so that it'll become the lower half of Blitzwing's body. Okay. So now, hold on. Okay, we're good. So now this little flapper here, you take out like that, then you pull out like this. Now his wings right here, you push back like that, Alright. So now here is not so tricky, but it's also like tricky part. So just push his head inside right here, like that. And then flip this, not just yet. So get his arms ready. Now, as they're aligned, the hole with the slot, just flip it like this, so that it's no longer aligned, and then you flip it over like this. You flip that little flap right there. Do the same to that one. Make sure the holes look at least equal, so that when you transform him, his hand won't be like this, and then when you look at the bottom, his other hand is like open. So try to make sure they look as equal as possible. Okay, so now you make sure that they're like this. Make sure that these little parts, that the parts align with the wing, so that it could transform good. So you connect them together. And then there. And one little final thing is that doing this. Now you do the wheel like this, and voila. You've got Studio Series number 65 Blitzwing completed. Now, some final thoughts about this figure is that he is the best figure I ever got. Ooh, one other thing. These little wings are, these little tiny wings are here. You fold in facing that way. Then you push this inside. This little tab right here, and you push into the slots like that, so that it can look like if it was actually the bottom of a jet. Now, one thing I thought was cool is that if in the film that he fired like from his jet form like that, you do connect like this, which I thought was pretty cool. which does make sense, but unfortunately in the film he did not do that. But in the toy, I think they're suggesting that he would do that. Now this little tiny little circles tab, you put in the tiny little circle spot, just like that. Okay, so now, oh, one little thing is that if you want to play with this dude, and then he's flying, just have his wing folded in so that he's like shh, you know, something like that. Then you put his wing out just like so that it could be on the ground. Alright, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Ooh, and one little thing that we did forget is putting the backdrop. But oh well, it's okay. The backdrop is the same as Studio Series number 57 Bumblebee. Now, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, leave a nice comment, leave a like, hit that notifications button so that you'll get a notification whenever my new videos pop up. And I will see you at our next Transformer video, which might be about a Constructicon or another Autobot. Now, I will see you at our next Transformer Studio Series video. Goodbye.